using video in social media marketing. It's a really topical and a powerful subject. I'm sure we'll all agree. I'm Steve Smith, and I'm the webinar coordinator here at Score Fairfield County and a business mentor also. Our presenter is Lorraine Duncan, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Lorraine in just a minute. But first, a little bit on SCORE. Several of you, I can see from the attendee list, have heard this before, so I apologize, but I'm going to say it anyway. SCORE is an organization that was founded back in the 60s, actually, back in the Johnson administration, and is a part of the U.S. Small Business Administration. There are about 320 offices around the United States, and when we were set up specifically to assist small businesses to get started and to grow and to prosper, and we still have that mission today. SCORE Fairfield County encompasses the area pretty much from Bridgeport down through Greenwich along the coast. I'm readjusting my headset now. I apologize for that. So I'm not going to start over again, but I am going to just say that our presenter today is Lorraine Duncan. I was talking about SCORE Fairfield County, one of the 320 some odd offices that we have around the United States. Here in SCORE Fairfield County, we have 130 plus or minus volunteers. About two-thirds of those are retired executives, and a third are people currently in business and volunteering their time to help others. We have folks that are industry experts, like retail and manufacturing, process experts, and subject matter experts, which increasingly has to do with a topic like ours today, which is social media and emerging social media and video. At our offices on East Avenue in Norwalk, we really have three things that we try to do. One is to do one-on-one counseling. Some of you have done that, I know. If you go to our website, you can sign up for to meet a SCORE counselor, and they will talk to you about whatever happens to be on your mind, and or direct you to somebody who has specific, deep knowledge in that area. We also do workshops and webinars. Surprise, surprise, you're on a webinar right now. The workshop program is throughout Fairfield County. We generally do them at libraries, but not exclusively. You can find the upcoming set of workshops on our website, which is fairfieldcounty.score.org. No caps, fairfieldcounty.score.org. We do about 130 workshops a year, and again, on topics that our clients tell us are important. The webinar program is one that we started about 2 years ago. We do 2 a month webinars, and I'll tell you more about the next one in just a second. On our website, which again is fairfieldcounty.score.org, we also have a lot of resources and tools and answers to frequently asked questions by small businesses, and I would encourage you to go there to our website to A, sign up for counseling, B, sign up for workshops and webinars, and to take advantage of the resources and information that's there. Now, our next webinar is June 5th. I think that's in 2 weeks, should be, and the subject is going to be 7 common mistakes small business owners make when trying to grow their business. Long title, still within the 40 minutes, though, I'll point out. And if you go to the website, you can get the specifics of that and sign up accordingly. And as you did for this webinar, you'll be getting 3 email reminders 3 weeks in advance, 3 days in advance, and then the morning of. So some more information about today's webinar before I introduce Lorraine. We're going to stop at 1 o'clock to respect your time, right on the dot, hopefully. Now, this is an important point because I always get this question. The link to this recording will be available by the end of the day, possibly tomorrow. Sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to get it loaded. But you can, again, access it through fairfieldcounty.score.org, on-demand webinars, and it'll take you directly over to YouTube where you can see the entire presentation, the slides, and the audio. Now, as far as Q&As for this presentation, I know that some of you, and thank you very much for this, have sent some questions to Lorraine in advance, and that's made it possible for her to kind of weave this into the answers into her presentation. That's exactly the way we'd like to do that, so I really appreciate it. For those of you that will have questions during the presentation, put them in the chat room down there, and I'll be monitoring that, and as appropriate, we'll either do them during Lorraine's presentation, although I don't like to interrupt speakers, or we'll collect them at the end and cover as many as we can before 1 o'clock. At the conclusion of the webinar, you're going to receive an email asking you to evaluate the quality of the webinar. Please do that. We do use it. Specifically, I use it. Now, on to our speaker, and Lorraine's going to talk a little bit more about her experience in depth as it's related to the topic today, but she has over 20 years of experience in business marketing and consulting. She runs her own company. She advises small businesses how to utilize social media in their marketing. I mean, what could be more topical, right? And she's a contributing author in the book Conscious Business Growth, specifically the chapter Creating a Social Media Presence. She currently teaches courses on social media and video marketing at Wilton's Continuing Education Program. Really, really happy to have her here today. I'm going to turn it over to her, and then I'll be back to you maybe 10 minutes of 1 or something. So, Lorraine, take it over.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. And thank you very much to SCORE and Steve for having me on this webinar. I'm really excited today to talk about using video in social media marketing. It is probably one of my passions as of late because I've seen a lot of results with it. So just real quickly about me is I'm also a certified business coach and life coach. I've been doing social media marketing for about 4 years now. I kind of discovered it by accident while growing my own social media business. And when I'm not doing social media marketing, I love hanging out with my family from the oldest, which is 33, to my youngest grandchild, who is now 10. So I want to go right to the content because I'm all about content. And so I hope I answer all your questions and I give you some really great nuggets along the way. So one thing I want to say about video marketing is the Internet is actually video marketing in itself. You actually don't have to do anything but post something and you're marketing something. So I want to give you a few stats why it's so important. So about mobile video consumption rises every year. And I don't think you can go a place today where there is not somebody on their phone doing something, looking at something. And one of the things that I see a lot, and people are laughing and having a lot of fun, is they're always watching a video on YouTube. So I really, you can't get away from the mobile phone either, which is a very big part of video marketing. 80%. A percentage of global Internet traffic that will attribute to by video by 2019 is 80%. By 2019, there is going to be so much Internet traffic. So if you're thinking of doing video now, it's a great time to get into the market. It's a great time to start practicing your videos. Years it will take to watch all the videos that will be shared every month in 2019, 5 million. So can you imagine how much data is out there? And you actually have to sort of make your way through all of this data so you can get yourself noticed. Facebook, which is one of my favorite platforms, generates 8 billion video views on an average per day. And there's not a time when I look onto Facebook and through the feed is many, many, many videos. And I discovered something, and I'll share a little bit more about that later on in the webinar, but I do want to, something that I noticed very right off the bat with posting a video on Facebook, and I want to share it now because just in case I don't go into detail later, but the bottom line is that if you took a YouTube link and you posted on your Facebook business page, you may get 1 or 2 views. But if you upload your video to Facebook, And because Facebook loves to keep you on its platform, you will get so many more views. So don't, just because you're uploading to YouTube and then posting a link to Facebook, you got to do a little bit more. You got to actually literally upload the video to Facebook. So a little bit more stats. Digital Information World reports that 55% of people watch videos online every day. That's as of 2018. In 2019, Cisco projects that global Internet traffic from videos will make up about 80% of all Internet traffic by 2019. So again, videos, you can't get around them. Smartphones, Cisco study reports smartphones will account for 81% of total mobile traffic by 2020. And don't, the bottom line is you can actually link your phone, your smartphone, you post a video and you can actually upload it directly to YouTube. And, people are using, doing videos on Snapchat, and they're also doing videos on Instagram, which is an amazing platform. And video users. A Cisco study reports there will be nearly 1.9 billion Internet video users by 2021. So the reason I always give all these stats in the beginning is with the numbers. Why wouldn't you want to be doing video marketing? So if you have your own business right now, I want to encourage you to start dabbling in it a little bit. And I'm going to give you some ideas and tips along the way here. So I have this whole strategy. It's a pre-building a winning video marketing strategy. I want to get right into it. And one of the things that you want to ask yourself, there's always questions. I really feel that you just don't do a video and just post it, especially for your business. I feel like that it takes a lot of thought. So what I want to say is one of the questions is what are your objectives? What do you want to do with this video? Do you want to promote it as a branding thing? Do you want to get more followers looking at your videos? Do you want to share some exciting news? Think about what you want to do. I mean, a lot of people, the main reason why they do videos is to get more people to their different platforms, but they also want to get their brand out there in a bigger way. So think about that. Write this question down. It's very important because if you don't have a goal, or if you don't have any objectives to shoot for, you're not going to really hit anything. So how will you measure your success? What measures success on social media? It's not that you post every day. It's not that you, get a few viewers. But what really measures success, what's the bottom line at the end of the day? At the end of the day, are you getting qualified leads? Are you getting more people knowing about your brand? So that is, so if you post a video and it only gets 2 views, it's not a very good successful thing to do. So make sure that you are watching these videos you post and looking at the numbers, because the numbers tell the truth. How much time and money will you invest? I'm going to share some tools that I use that took me very little investment. But I have a lot of colleagues out there that have their own video studio. Now, I'm not telling you to run out and go and buy a video studio, but if you invest maybe $100 or $200 on a decent microphone, a tripod, always having great lighting, and maybe you don't want to do this at all and you want to hire somebody, think about how you're going to invest your money when it comes to video marketing. The other thing that you want to think about is who your audience is. So, if you're reaching, you want to figure out who your avatar is, who your tribe you're reaching to. So, for me, for instance, I look for people between the ages of 45 to 65 who don't want to do any social media marketing. And then you can niche it down a little bit more. Is well, what are they? Are they female? Are they male? What kind of income do they make? And that's important because you can also post videos on LinkedIn. So when you're posting videos on LinkedIn, the average income on LinkedIn is $120,000. So if you want to, if that's your audience, there's where you want to be. So you really want to know who your audience is. And I have a sheet that I always do, and you're welcome to email me for it later, and I'll send it to you. but it is a very awesome sheet. Just goes through of like, what are you looking? Where do they hang out? What do they read? Again, income, gender, all that important stuff that's about your client and unique to your client. Which platforms will you focus on? You know, when I first started on social media, I focused on Facebook, but quickly I moved to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, actually, I get more clients through LinkedIn than any other platform. But then when I noticed that I could post videos directly on Facebook, I started to get a little bit more, I got more warm leads through that, and I also got a few more clients through that. And the same thing with Instagram. You know, doing stories and, 15 seconds is all you're allowed, so you really have to know your message. So if you know your message and you're big, if you're like a photographer, for instance, you want to be on Instagram. It's all about pictures. It's all about, seeing it quick and people liking it and engaging. The engagement is so much better on Instagram. So you want to think about that when you're thinking about the platform. Okay. What videos will you make? Now, I think about that a lot. Is because I do a lot of videos. So my thinking is well, what am I gonna make? What's the topic gonna be? And you're probably thinking the same thing. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm gonna do a video on. So I thought it would be very helpful of some of the things that I've been doing, and some of the video topics that I've done. Sometimes I've shared a big announcement. Like in a couple months, I'm going to be having a book come out. So that announcement, I'm going to do a video about it. The next thing is you could also film a customer testimony. And if you have a website, and here's the big thing, if you have a website and you're not having video testimonials on your website, you're missing out. Because when people see you and see the person who's giving you a recommendation, it means much more than one of those written recommendations. The next thing, I also think you could also walk people through. You could do a walkthrough of a service or a walkthrough of how you do something. How you make pottery or how you make whatever you do, how you make a different product. You can host a question and answer. You can provide a behind-the-scenes look. Go in your office and do that. You can introduce your employees. If you work for a big company and you have extraordinary employees, which I'm sure you all do, you can actually do a spotlight on an employee. You could share your screen and show, if you're a technical person and you need to show them how to use something on the computer, you could do that. You can conduct an interview. You can show a day in your life, what it's like to be an entrepreneur. You can tell a story. You can recap a blog post. You can hint at exciting news. You can answer frequently asked questions, a great topic. If you're in a field where people are always asking you questions, you have topics for months. The next thing you can do something really fun. You can perform a publicity stunt. I always think of, when they were dumping water on everybody's head, the water challenge, they called it. It went viral immediately. You could prove or disprove something. You can do an impersonation while you're doing your video. You can rattle off a quick list. You can do tips, and so I could name about 100 more things. But think about what you're going to do. What kind of video you're going to make. So the next thing is how to create video marketing strategy. So there's even more to this. So now that we know what your video is going to, the different topics, you want to decide. So, I like to do a lot of tips because I'm a social media person. So, 10 tips how to use Instagram better, 5 tips how to post a video on Facebook. There's tons of things that I can do. So think about what you're going to do, decide. Once you decide, just move forward. Forget about, I got a lot of questions earlier about, oh my gosh, what do I talk about? That was one. But the other one is like, oh, I look horrible on camera. I'm going to address that right in this section right now, because the bottom line is that I suggest what you do is take your iPhone out, and every day for 5, if you're afraid of being on camera, just start talking into take a video of yourself every day and get comfortable with that being on video. That will help you so much. And by the time you're ready to go live and do a real video, you'll be all comfortable with it. So just remember, you really got to do video marketing, you got to take that one step forward. Decide what you're going to do and just go for it. The next thing is make the video. So there's 3 ways you can make a video. You can use a professional video camera. You can use your iPhone or Droid. And the reason I say iPhone or Droid is because that's what we have with us all the time. The best videos that have gone viral have been the live videos that are like right on the spot happening. So you just want to make sure that when you are doing these live videos and other people are in them, that you got permission. I did a whole shoot one day, and there was this little baby that was so cute that I kept on taking a movie of that kind of was in the background, and I made sure that I had gotten permission. And that could be in the way of a written release form or however else you want to do it. Optimize. Now I'm going to go off in a little bit and show you towards the end of the webinar. I'm going to go off and tell you about how you upload a video into YouTube and how it's done. So I'm going to save that for later, but it's really important that when you upload a YouTube video that it's not public yet. So, and it's private. Because you don't want, until you've got all your title straight and your description straight, you don't want it to go live until then. And then the next is you want to publish it. You want to turn the video from unlisted to public, and you want to post on various platforms. And that's basically the marketing strategy. So make sure you decide, you make the video, you optimize, and you publish. So I want to go into a little bit more of the tools that I use. I use an iPhone, but some of you may be using Droids. So it's very simple because you connect everything on your iPhone to YouTube, and then it uploads right to your YouTube channel. I personally do not upload directly to my YouTube channel from my phone. I actually use a tool called Dropbox, and I upload my video into Dropbox, put it on my desktop, and I do all this like optimization, like putting a title on the video first before I upload it to YouTube. The next thing that I highly recommend, and mostly for this, I have everything that I'm showing you here. I have, and I got this little kit because of the lenses and also for the tripod. And it comes in a little box, a little pouch you can put everything in. And sometimes I use the zoom lens if I'm doing something far away. And it's important to have a good tripod because you don't want to show a video where you're shaking all the time, because that's really bad and people won't watch your video. Something else that I did not mention that it's important to me, not important to a lot of other people out there, but when you're shooting a video, it should only be, I feel it should only be under a minute. And I mean, that's me. You can hear how fast I talk. I can get a lot in under a minute. So what I'm saying to you is, bottom line is I would rather read something than watch a 10-minute video because, it's like, who has time to watch a 10-minute video? If you keep it short, people are going to keep on coming back to you as long as the content is relevant. And that's really important to know. Make sure that your content is relevant when you're doing a video. The mic is the most important thing that you use. This is the one I use. They have a wireless one. I haven't bought that one yet, but that's next on my list of supplies I will be buying. But what I love about this is the cord is extremely long, so I can, if I want to kind of be in a distance, I can do that. I also, it's so powerful, this little mic, and it's really tiny. It's, as you see it, that's how small it is. So if you wear darker clothes or keep it underneath the camera so they don't see the mic, I always put it underneath so they can't see the mic. A lot of people show it. But it has like a long cable that you can attach to either your laptop. You can attach it to your Droid or your iPhone or your iPad too.
Yeah, Lorraine, let me just interrupt you for a second here. To give you a break because you need a sip of water, but B, we have a question here about the kit. I think it's probably a good idea to answer this question is, what kit is that? Which I assume he's asking, like, where do you get it and what's the brand and that kind of thing. So you can answer that one?
Yeah, so the microphone is a powered device. The microphone is a powered device, and to be honest with you, you could get everything you ever needed for your video studio on Amazon. You can even get I think there's a lighting kit you can get for under $200. So you don't really have to spend a lot. But if you video at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 a.m. on the East Coast with the light coming in the window, you'll get plenty of lighting. And the other one is Cam Kicks. And I didn't get to this part, but this is my remote control, so you don't see me reaching across my phone. So Cam Kicks is that brand, which you can get on Amazon. And the same with the tripod and the lenses, and that's a Cam Kicks too. And that you can get on Amazon. And I think I spent under $150 on all 3 of those items. So, which I didn't get to. Did you have another question? Or okay, I didn't get to this. This is my favorite tool of all. If I want to do a group Photoshop, or if I want to do a video, again, and they can't see me reaching across the camera, and you see the arm, or you see like a distorted view of me. I use this. I keep this on my lap, and I just click it, and the video starts, and then I click it again, and the video stops. So you're not, if you see some people when they're doing these videos, even off their laptops or their desktops, you always see them turning it on, and it doesn't look very professional. I mean, you do those couple things, have great lighting, great sound, not a lot of distraction in the background, a very still camera, it will be seamless for you. So the next thing I want to talk about is branding. I do a very this is a YouTube custom-made tab that I made, and basically I change it around, so this is the one that's been for this year. But it's very important when you're branding to have a custom-made tab. And basically, this is mine, but I want to show you a branded channel, and there's many out there. If you go to YouTube and you just Google, you could just look around to different businesses, life coaching or motivational speakers. They all have a branded, YouTube channel. So I kind of wanted to show you that, and this is her tab. This is Michelle Weimer of Michelle Weimer Coaching, and she every Monday she posts a video on YouTube, and she keeps the same branding. Her colors are always the same. This is her, this is her channel. And as you see, this is what I was talking about before, is that, when you first start out on YouTube, you're only going to get like 6 or 7 views. Don't be discouraged, because you'll get more if you upload the video to Facebook. You'll get a lot of views. By the way, you cannot get a branded URL on YouTube until you get 100 subscriptions, till somebody subscribes to you 100 times. So when that happens, you can get your branded YouTube channel. But it's very important to brand your channel, especially if you're a company. I mean, if you went to Coca-Cola or you went to Nike or Starbucks, you would see that they all have their particular brand and their specifics about their brand, and they are all on their YouTube channel. So if you're a serious business, you want to have a branded channel. So while I'm here, I just thought I'd show you kind of the makings of uploading a YouTube video. And so this is actually my personal account. I only have 21 subscribers. It's not a branded account at all. This is kind of my test account that I've been doing. And so basically what I want to show you is you're going to go, if you could see my arrow, you hit that. And when you hit that, you're going to hit upload a video. When you get to that, right away, you are going to want to make it unlisted. And then you can go in and upload the video. Now, beforehand, I actually already loaded a video to my desktop. So to make it just very easy, how I did it on this computer is I actually had it in a flash drive, and I just put it on my desktop. It's already optimized already. So basically, I'm going to upload it, and the name of this video is called What to Post on Instagram. You're going to come to this dashboard, and it takes time to upload it. And this is where you're going to put all the important things. Okay? And so, just for and keywording is very important when you're uploading, okay? So Instagram is something that you want to kind of put in. If, like, I'm doing Instagram, for instance, I'm going to use that as one of my tabs, my keywords. I could put social media marketing if I wanted to. Okay, so when the movie comes up, okay, it means it's totally loaded, okay? And then you want to do a couple other things. Remember I told you about that custom thumbnail? You're going to hit that, and I have it. I actually already. So let me just tell you what I did here. When you want to title the video before you upload it to Instagram. So basically the custom, and you're going to pick that custom, and it's just going to go. It's all ready to go, and it's already done now. It's processed, and then once that's all done, you want to, and the title's done. You want to always make sure your title's done. And then what you want to do is you just want to kind of hit, well, I'm not going to hit that right now, but you could check the video to make sure it's okay and all that before you publish it. This has already been published before, so I know it's okay. And then that's when you hit public. And then that's when you hit publish. And it's very simple. Now it's all ready to go. And if you wanted to share it to other things, you can. Right now I'm connected on a different laptop, so I'll do that later. But you could always you could do more editing and video managing. This is the video managing dashboard, and you could just, if you wanted to change something, you can. And so that's just what it is. That's the best. That's, if you have any questions, you could definitely email me, and I can walk you through it again. But it's that simple. It's always good when you want people to, if you want people to actually go to your channel, and I do this for other clients, is you go on and you you subscribe to other channels. So people that are seeing you subscribing, they want to know what you're about, they'll go on to your channel and subscribe. It takes, if you're not like a celebrity or a very important person, it's going to take, it took me, I did another test for another client. It took me about a month and a half to get them 100 subscribers. Some people can do it quicker. Never buy your subscribers. That's totally illegal, and it will get you in a lot of trouble. Go ahead.
Yeah, question here before we go on from Budley. He's asking, what do you mean by optimizing a video? What goes into it? What do you think when you say optimizing a video? What are you thinking?
Okay, well, there's a couple things that I'm thinking when I say optimizing the video, making sure that whatever you're talking about or the video's about is you're keywording it. So I did 2. I recommend doing 5 keywords on each video, but the keyword is very important. Plus, Google, when it picks up things, because Google and YouTube are tight, so when Google picks up things, if they see keywords and people are clicking on those keywords and they're going to those keywords, they're going to see you. Like everybody always wants to know how to do Instagram better, especially people who are starting out. So you could put your whole title in as a keyword, meaning, like what to post on Instagram. I mean, I gave a whole bunch of different video ideas. Some of those things are could be the same topics. So but you also want to search your keywords. And unfortunately, we only have 40 minutes today, so I can't really teach you how to use Keyword Planner. But Google AdWords has something called Keyword Planner, and it is a great asset. And basically what you do is you type in the word, and then you look to see how many people would populate that. So if you typed in the word phone, and that might get a lot. But if you do something obscure like maybe fidget spinner or something like that, that may not get as much hits because you couldn't even target that right now. So the thing is you're looking for a word that it's popular. It's the same thing if you had a website designer who designed your site and then they backlinked it and they backlinked it for keywords and stuff. You want to make sure that you get that list of keywords from them and use that keyword. And then in your title, make sure you're always using the name in your title and also in your description. That's what I'm talking about optimizing. You don't want to have a video up there with no title. And that's the same thing with any other platform. You want to make sure anything that can be optimized, a clickable link. You can even put a clickable link in the comments part of the video. So that's another way you can optimize that video, but just like say, hey, thanks for watching my video. In the comments you would put it, and you would just say, thanks for watching my video on Instagram. If you want to learn more, go to www, whatever your website is. So, I mean, those are some ways. All right, so that is just a brief thing about that. Now, I'm almost actually to the end here, and I want to just do a few things. It's like I just want you to kind of consider all this. Every 60 seconds, there are 695,000 Facebook updates, 100 new LinkedIn accounts, 600 new YouTube videos, and 98,000 tweets. So with that being said, you want to be marketing and you want to be on video on these different platforms. I want to briefly talk about Instagram because it's one of my favorite platforms now, like as of today. You can go on there, and they have this thing called Stories. If you go on Instagram, in the left-hand corner, you can touch the plus, and it will bring you right to a video camera. It will show your face. You're allowed 15 seconds, and you could do a quick 15-second video. Then you can save it. You could actually put that on any other channel, too. So there's a lot you could do with that 15-second video. You just want to be precise in what you say. There's no limit to how much you can post on Stories for the day. So you could do 6, 7. I wouldn't do that many because then they're going to think you're a bot. And bots are bad. Don't ever buy a bot to do stuff. Be real. Social media is supposed to be relational. So just be relational and be the real person. The other thing is that what you want to do with Instagram is you want to be at least posting once a day. You want to have a business page. It's very important to have a business page on Instagram because you can't advertise or see any analytics or stats. And the same with Facebook. You want to have a Facebook video page because you can't advertise. So I'm going to move on to Facebook. Again, you want to upload a video to Facebook. You don't want to just put a link. If you've ever shared a link on Facebook and noticed that you don't get a lot of organic reach, it's because Facebook doesn't want you to leave their page. They want you to stay on their page. So you want to make sure that you are uploading the video instead of just posting a link because they don't want to bring you to YouTube. They want to keep you on Facebook. On Twitter's the same. That you can go on and you could post a little video. There's no limits to how many videos you can post. But again, I wouldn't overwhelm people with a bunch of videos. Start off with doing once a week, and then maybe move it to 3 times a week. I do a blog and then a video tip of the week. So I only do one video tip of the week. And so that's that. LinkedIn, again, if you're target market, if you are B2B and your target market is on LinkedIn, you want to make sure that you are posting on LinkedIn. Make very relevant, solve a problem with your video. That's what you want to do. Present the problem, solve it. This is what I do. Make it very simple. Make all content that you put on any of the channels relevant to your market. And that is about it. I hope I helped you a little bit. One other thing before, there's a couple other tools I do use. I use I can't even think of what you call it right now. Oh, PicMonkey. I use PicMonkey for all my graphics as far as making a thumbnail for your for your different videos if you want to put a thumbnail. And just Google what size the thumbnail. It's about 1008 to 5 something, but Google because by the way, the thumbnails and all the different posts that you do on Facebook and everything, they change a lot all the time. So Google the most current. I don't have the most current right now. And then again, I think that's about it. Is there any other questions?
Yeah, yes, Lorraine, excellent job, by the way. A lot of unbelievable content and depth. Okay, so I'm going to try to sort through these in some sense that makes sense. So, Lan Hong has asked the following question, which is, I wouldn't have the foggiest idea what the answer is. Do you suggest to edit the video that was filmed on an iPhone with the iMovie editing, or should we use another app or upload to MacBook to edit the video? Thank you.
Okay, yeah. I believe it or not, I edit all my iPhone movies on my iPhone. If you go, it's hard to describe this without having a picture in front of me, but if you go to your iPhone, and you go to where the movie is, and after you filmed it, it's the first one on your photographs. You just hit that, and then you touch the bottom as it's playing, and then the edit stuff will come up. And I believe it's like a yellow line. In the yellow line, you just kind of take your finger, and if you want, like for instance, if you were one of those people who actually used your hand to turn off the phone from the tripod, you can actually literally cut that off. I mean, you got to have a little finesse, and it takes time at first. But once you get used to editing on your phone, you're not going to want to download it to iMovies or unless there's a lot of editing. So that's what I suggest. So probably tomorrow at www.bizgloonsocial.com, I'll put a list of all my tools that I use in a blog post. So, you could go there to my blog and you can see that.
Okay, that's great. So actually, I'm going to try to combine these two questions. We've got some really good questions here. So, and luckily we've got 15 or 20 minutes. So let's try to go. I'll try to go through them in a meaningful way here. So, there are two. I'm going to try to put these two together. What are your thoughts on using a thumbnail saved from video, and what are your thoughts on adding music to the background? Those two are not the same, I know, but try to multitask with me there.
Okay, great question, by the way. And so here's the one about music. The jury is out. So I can only talk from personal experience. I did a social media launch about 3 years ago where I was selling a program. And what happened was I decided to be my videos were professionally done by a videographer, and I decided to put music in. And then I had somebody, an expert at videos, view my videos, and they said that even though the music was low, there was no words in the music, it was just music, no words, just no lyrics, just plain old, music. He said that it could be viewed as being distractive to what you're trying to say, or as a distraction to what you're going to say. So you don't have to you could put video towards the closing. I mean, if it's an inspirational video, I would have no problem with doing it. If it's a how-to video, I don't know, unless you have some people in the beginning of their with their thumbnail when it goes up. They have like a whole brand thing, and some of them use like the a Superman theme song or whatever. That's okay, but then while you're teaching, you want to make sure that you're not having any music through that. And then the other question.
Animation. Oh no, I bet that one's coming. Music, yeah, you asked.
I did the music, but there was another part to that.
Thumbnail saves from video.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what the question is. What's the question? Oh, I know. I can answer it. All right. So here's the deal with using a thumbnail from the video. If you have a good thumbnail from the video, so if you remember when I went to, and I'm going to actually show this to you on the screen because it's a very easy. So only 3 populate. And so when you're doing a video, only three will populate, and they're usually ugly pictures, to be honest with you. So if you have if you did a screenshot or something of your picture, oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. If you do a screenshot of your picture, see, this is what would come out. Look, I'm not smiling. I'm not, there's nothing happening here. And they'll only give you 3 shots, and like I said, they're usually bad. So if you've screenshotted something with you smiling and looking good, you're not, doing like touching your hair or whatever. This would have been great if I was smiling, but this is what, so having a custom thumbnail, and you can change your custom thumbnails if you want to, but you just don't want to let YouTube pick your 3 thumbnails, because usually the bottom line is they're awful thumbnails. So that's my response to that.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Along this same line here, have you talked about video editing tools? Which one have you found the most useful? And the concern is that some of them that Reme has used are very confusing.
Yeah, I meant to. I use one called it's done by Wonderama or something like that, and unfortunately, I've used it for such a long time, and I meant to write it down for the webinar. However, here's the story with any editing tool. There's things that you have to know about editing, such as the scissors means cut, a highlight, and stuff. And the problem with editing, because I do a lot of editing of MP3s. But editing video is tough, and the reason being is that you can cut at the wrong spot, and your mouth is opening here, and then on the other end, you're finishing the sentence, and the mouth is not opening. So this particular software, once you get used to it, so pick one that they're all about the same. Some are better than others. The one that I use from Wonderama is really good because you just download the video in. It has 2 sections, and you can undo it really easily and do it over again if you have to. Again, on my website, I will be putting. I'll put a list of tools I use. I meant to write that one down. I knew that was going to be a question asked, and I didn't write it down. But it's a great. iMovie I find to be very difficult. I never really liked. I don't like it. So this one I think is really simple, and then it uploads it. Then you could title it when you upload it, edited. You title it, and that's already done for you, which is kind of a really cool thing too. And there's a lot of other features. That's where you can add the music to the video, and you could do that in iMovie too. So the other thing you could do with iMovie is if you do have an iMac, any of the Mac products that you're going to be using that for. Go take a course at an Apple store, because they are really knowledgeable, and they'll do stuff to your computer and help it enhance it more with the iMovies. That's when I was doing an iMovie. I went in there and had them really do it all because it was a lot of fun.
Good. Exactly on this point, someone has asked, tell us again, repeat where you will download all the tools that you use.
Oh, okay, yeah. So on my website, and it's not going to go up today, it will be up tomorrow. I'm going to do a bunch of tools. That's going to be my blog post this week. So it's going to be all the tools that I use for social media marketing, and I'm going to rate them. So I'll have my best video stuff, because Canva is another great tool that you can use for for graphics if you don't have Photoshop. So the bottom line is it's www.bizgonesocial.com. That's my website, and it will be in the blog section.
Great, good, perfect. Now here's one about animation. Do you use animation in your videos, and if so, what kind of tools do you recommend to do that?
Yeah, so there's I didn't even talk about this, but when deciding to use a video, you can do something called a whiteboard. You can do animation, use these, like you can create these funny characters. They're a lot of work. If you're just starting out and you have some discretionary funds, I would have somebody do the animated ones. There are a lot of great. There was one that I used. Was it Animoto? I'll put those up too. But there was one I used that took me 4 hours to learn. I didn't have 4 hours to give. So if you don't have 4 hours to learn something, I'm pretty tech savvy. So if you don't have that, hire somebody to do it. There's a saying out there. There's so much in your business that can be delegated. You don't have to do it all. So pick and choose. There's also another, and I'll put this on my website too. It's called Ninja Samurai, and you could actually take still shots of pictures, and then you could put words to it and make a really neat little video that way. And that gets a lot of hits. I posted one on my Facebook page, and I got a lot of hits on that. I'll put that on my blog post too.
All right, perfect. I got another question here about, is this being recorded? This will be the last time I answer this question. Yes, fairfieldcounty.score.org. Click on demand webinars, and you'll go right to YouTube, and you'll see both the slides and the audio. Okay, we're still got some time here if you've got the energy. Yeah.
So somebody asked the question, what is the sweet spot for times per week to post? So it varies. But the bottom line is when people are sitting around the table, such as dinner time, lunchtime, in the morning, they're watching YouTube videos. So they're, and a lot of big business coaches out there will tell you to only check your social media platforms 3 times a day, and those are the 3 times of the day that people are going to be checking their posts. However, the analytics will tell you times 2. So in Instagram, if you look at the analytics for that, and it's right on the phone, you just go below whatever post you made, and then it will say, I'll tell you exactly what it says. I have my phone right here. And it's very, very, very helpful. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to hit one of the posts that you posted, and on the bottom, it's going to say, right on the bottom of the picture, it's going to say View Insights. If you go to View Insights, it's going to tell you all the different insights, and then you could go below that, and it will tell you reach, impressions, and then you can hit more stuff. If you go to reach, if you hit that, let's see, I'm trying to get down. Profile visits, the number of times people, it has everything on it. So if you go there, you can find the time. And then on Facebook, if you go to posts, again, in the dashboard, if you have a business page, in the analytics, you do the same thing, hit posts, and then you'll see this, it looks like a whale. And the meaty times are always between 12 and about 7 o'clock. So if you're posting on Facebook between 12 and about 7 o'clock on the East Coast, that's the time that you can post. You can probably post any time in there. It will go more specific. Like I know, for instance, I have 9 o'clock is a good time for me to post on my page, and that's just because everybody works all day and they're not getting the Facebook until later on, and my target market is an older crowd. So I hope that helps. Pretty much, you want to post when people you think are going to be on, and look at a restaurant, and when people are tweeting, and all that kind of stuff. It's lunchtime.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've got a couple more questions here. You answered that one. Here's one. How can we post a video or a blog and have it go to all other social media sites? I've heard that you can pre-schedule blasts on Twitter, etc. How is this done? Thank you.
Yeah. So I use a software. I use a couple software for this, but the main software I use is Hootsuite. And basically you can post to Twitter, Instagram now, Facebook, and you can do YouTube now. I do not do that. I use Hootsuite mainly for Twitter posting, but you can do it on that. There's also a couple other software that does that. Postcron does it, a little bit cheaper. Social Pilot does it. I'm not sure about the YouTube, but Hootsuite is my main. I use that for all my clients. It's relatively cheap to get I think it's $9.99 now. I think it was $5.99 when I did it, but really cheap. And you can get some free trials from Social Pilot and Postcron, but they all kind of work the same. There's also Crowd Booster out there and Buffer, and I actually don't know if they post to YouTube because I only use them for Twitter. So Hootsuite is the main one.
Okay, great. Thank you. So one more question. I'm kind of fascinated by this whole subject. It's a shame in some ways we couldn't do this longer, but maybe we'll do it in a workshop sometime. I got a question here from Sharon. It's Sharon Epstein. Do you visually brand your business in all your videos, logo or poster in the background?
With what?
It says logo or poster in the background.
Yeah, I actually there's a couple things. I have actually a logo for BizGone Social, and that usually goes in a lot of my posts. YouTube has this really cool thing where you can actually, on the tab button, you got to go to settings for this. So you got to play around with your settings because, again, what I didn't even mention in the beginning is that daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly, but something is going to change on social media. And it doesn't roll out for everybody all at once. But if you go to your settings, you can actually make a little branding tab with on YouTube. If you click the button, it will say like BizGone Social. You click the button and it will go right to your website. So I'll put that on my blog too because it's a really cool thing. I just got to make sure it's in the same place because again, I even went on today and I noticed that the dashboard changed a little bit, and so it's always about relearning and re-navigating different settings. On all my pictures and on all my graphics, the BizGone Social goes on it, except in my blog post because the blog post is coming out from BizGone Social. All my clients do the same thing. They put their logo on everything. And it's not available. Like, remember, you cannot get your vanity URL for YouTube until you have 100 subscribers. So that's your goal. In the beginning, do a video per week, and then, try to get that vanity URL.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to kind of close this out now, but a lot of people have been asking about websites, and again, you can see Lorraine's website right there on the slides, right? BizGoneSocial.com. That's what she's been referring to, and her telephone number as well. And for those of us here at SCORE, it's fairfieldcounty.score.org. That's where you go to get the replay. And I would say also to those of you that are running and starting your own small business, is the archives that we have out there, or the on-demand webinars that we have out there, go back a year and a half. And so they're probably like 30 or 35. And you were talking about keyword search and how important that is. And I would just say that we did a webinar on that about 9 months ago. You'd find that out there as well to kind of help you understand that in some amount of detail. We've also done a fair amount on social media marketing and digital marketing in the last 6 months. So when you go out there on the archives, look for that. One other thing I'll just mention here is that for those of you that are in the early stages of starting your business or maybe just thinking about it, there's a series that we offer here at SCORE, which is probably our flagship offering, frankly, and that is called Simple Steps. It's a 5-workshop series that's we're starting the next one in June. You can see the details of it on our website. It's just fantastic. It answers all the questions you have and don't even know that you don't have yet about starting a new business. So a little more marketing for SCORE there. All right, listen, thank you, Lorraine. That was really great. And we're going to, just as a reminder for you all, we do 2 webinars a month. The next one's going to be June 8th. The topic is 7 common mistakes small business owners make when trying to grow their business. Encourage you to see that as well as the archives. And again, Lorraine, thank you. It was a really great job. Guys out there, go to fairfieldcounty.score.org and have a nice day. Thank you.